In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most kind. Students, it's video number 1 for class 6. Subject is English Language, Unit 3, Review. And I'm your teacher, Teacher Shabana. We are going to revise the concept of sum and any, and the objectives are to identify sum and any, differentiate countable and uncountable noun, practice the use of article, and use articles and quantifiers in sentence formation. Let's review. What are the articles? Just tell me what is an article. What do you know about it? Think about it. It's a type of a determiner and it becomes at the beginning of a noun phrase. And we have learnt about an article. What's the use of a? We use it with consonant. A girl, a clock, a lamp. And n is used with vowel sounds. An orange, an umbrella, an eye. We use a with consonant sounds, a cat, a pencil, a bag. And before silent H we use an honest, an honorable man. Look at some other examples. An egg, an aunt, an ice cream, an orange. A uniform, a used plate, a one-eyed monster, a university, a uniform, a 1 rupee note. Students, we have learned how to use sum and any. We use sum in positive sentences and we use any in negative sentences. You can read these examples. There are some more examples. We have learnt about it. And in our previous grades, we have come to know about countable nouns and uncountable nouns. We have done a lot of activities on countable nouns and uncountable nouns. You can reread the examples. For example, please pass the salt. And we know that salt is uncountable noun. Students, in Unit 3, we learned how to write a recipe. A recipe is a set of instructions for making a particular dish, including a list of the ingredients. And we have done practice on recipe writing. You can look at these pictures. And we know that whenever we write a recipe, we start to write the directions with a cooking verb. We use cooking verbs in recipe writing. Pour the sunflower oil. Pour is also a cooking verb. Mix all the ingredients. Just notice again that we are using cooking verbs here. Pour the batter. Pour is a cooking verb. And these are the steps in recipe writing. These are some cooking verbs. To peel, to add, to mix, to fry, to heat, to bake, to knead, to pour, to grill, to steam, to boil, to cook, to roast, to melt. And these are the places to put the food. In a pan, in a bowl, in the freezer, in the microwave, okay? And students, then we learned how to write an invitation. Invitation is to ask someone to join or come The aim is to invite someone to our activities. And we learnt about the part of invitation letter. There were 4 parts. And there are 2 types of invitation, formal and informal. And it's all about the start of an invitation. You can read it. You can read these invitations. There are some examples of invitations. It's a wedding invitation, birthday invitation, reunion, and it's a dinner invitation. Let's have a review of English Ahead 1. Students, we have done vocabulary 1, world food. What is a typical dish in your country? It was the topic. And the question was, read and listen to the text about typical dishes around the world. Match the photos A to D to different dishes of the world 1 to 4. What did we do? We watched and observed the photos and then we read the statements. For example, Parveen from Pakistan. A typical dish in Pakistan is dal. A typical dish in Pakistan is dal. It's made from cooked lentils, fried with tomatoes, chili peppers, and different spices. It also contains salt and sometimes lemon juice. We usually eat it with rice. Okay, when we read the statement or answer given by Parveen from Pakistan, what did we do? We looked and observed the photos. And we matched the statement with the photos. You can look and you can observe the photos. First one, second one, photo C and photo number D. Okay, rice and dal. You can look in the photo and then what did we do? This is statement number 1 and we wrote here that it's statement number 1. There was a blank and we wrote here statement number 1. Okay. We did exercise 2. Complete the table with the words in bold in the text. And there was a table in which the first heading was from a plant. In the second heading there was from an animal or plant and other. Then we completed exercise 3 and exercise 4. Then there was reading and the topic was a celebration that's always special. It was written by Kashif from Islamabad. And then we read and listened to the text and ticked the information that was included. There were 8 statements. Then we read the text again and checked our answers to exercise 1. Then there was exercise 4. We read the text again in detail and we tried to choose the correct answers. Then there was exercise 5, in which we underlined the verbs in the second paragraph which describe these different ways of cooking. We used dictionary to help us. Then there was exercise 6, in which we discussed some questions. In vocabulary 2, we did practice on describing food, in which we solved different exercises. Then there was the explanation of some grammatical concepts. And the topic was some and any, in which we explained the meaning of some and the meaning of any, and we discussed the use of some and any in details. Then we solved different exercises. After solving different exercises on some and any, we did practice on listening. Then we did practice on speaking. And there were some exercises that we did in the classroom. And the written practice that was done by us was on an invitation. We wrote an invitation. We did practice on email writing as well. And the question was, write an email to some friends to invite them to a special meal or event. In activity section in workbook, we did the same unit 3, Food Glorious Food, in which we did vocabulary 1, World Food. There was a table. In exercise 1, we matched the words in the box to 10 types of food on the chart, and there was a chart. After matching the food items with chart, what did we do? We solved exercise 2, exercise 3, and then there was reading an online article, Eat Well, Live Well. After reading, we did solve some exercises. Read the online article again, then complete the table with the names of the food in the photos. We wrote the names of the foods and then we solved all the exercises relevant to this text. We did practice on some and any and the articles. And in vocabulary 2, we completed the adjectives and we solved different exercises. It was all about Unit 3. Let's have a look on homework. Students, your homework is reading comprehension. I have given you a reading passage. You will read it carefully and then solve the given exercise in which there are some comprehensive questions. You will write the answers with correct spellings and without grammatical mistakes. You will send your answers to the comprehensive questions to your relevant subject teachers. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Stay blessed.